Just 5 steps that you need to take for you to secure a real estate property. And let me also tell you this: if, for instance, just like you said, that you create wealth through real estate, you may not be able to take maximum benefit of that creation of wealth if you don't do proper documentation. I was privileged early in my practice in one of the law firms where I was working. Um, we had our office at Lekki Phase 1 at the time, and there was a particular client that had a property inside Lekki Phase 1, and he wanted to secure a loan from the bank. And he believed that, oh, land in this, you understand, in this area goes for 100 million, I think, at the time. But what happened? He didn't have adequate. I think there was a C of O as with title, but after he bought, I think there was about a chain of two chains of transfer of title that were not registered after the C of O. So, as at the time he was buying, there wasn't proper documentation, and I'm going to explain that. So, at the time the bank wanted to, they told him, no, we cannot give you 100 million. We don't value that your property is worth 100 million to share. Why? Because he didn't have the proper documentation. So they told him the best we can give you is 50 million, half the value of the property. You can see that even though properties around that area are worth, and I can tell you that if in this location here, Kola Lagbado, just along the express, is selling for 50 million, and you also have a land by the road, and there is one beside you that has C of O, you cannot sell your own that does not have title, that does not have registered title, the same price as the one, you understand, beside you that has a registered title. Yours will be priced lesser. So at times you may not still be able to take benefit of this so-called wealth creation, wealth um, land banking, if you don't pay attention to this. That is why it is very important that legal documentation should be, because that is when you can be rest assured that you have invested correctly in real estate. Without much ado, let me quickly delve into these steps I've been talking about. Okay, the first step is, like I said, you scout. You decide where you want to buy your land, where you want to buy your land, and it is a function of what is your budget. There's a budget that you have, it will take you to Atom, and there's a budget you have, it will take you to Banana Island. You understand me? So your budget will also determine where you are going to scout. So once you determine that, that is the first step. You can see now, I'm talking of 5 steps, and the first step is just so simple. Where do you want to buy? Determine it also by your budget. We are moving to the next one. Investigate the title documents and ownership, root title of the property. That is what we call due diligence. Carrying out appropriate due diligence into the root title of that property. Once you have identified where you want to buy that falls within your budget, next thing is to carry out your due diligence. Investigate the title. And there are different kinds of title that a property may have. Like I was just telling you about a registered title. They will tell you when you want to buy property, they will tell, okay, what's the title of this property? Some people, some agents, particularly, they say, "What are you saying? You are saying the land, you're asking of title. See land." No, it is the title. You understand? And some people come, they say, "Oh, the land, the title of the land is a survey plan, registered survey plan." I want to shock you. A registered survey plan on its own, simplicity, only survey plan is not a valid title document. Yes, it is important. It is one of the needed documents, but survey plan standing alone without any other thing is not a valid title document. It needs to go hand in hand with what we call a deed of assignment that will be drafted by a legal practitioner. Do you get me? And there are certain information that needs to go into that document, into the deed of assignment, that must be captured, which I will not delve in at this point, but you just need to know that you need the deed of assignment coupled with the survey plan for you to be able to say you have a title document. That is one. Then just executing or drafting the deed of assignment between the buyer and the seller, that we technically refer to as the assignor and assignee. This person selling is the assignor, the person buying is the assignee. So merely signing it, some people still commit another error. They will just carry the document, go and put it inside one safe and say, "I have bought land." You have not bought though. You are still carrying paper. Are you with me? Even though you have done your registered deed of assignment, registered survey plan, you have also gotten a lawyer to help you draft a deed of assignment, carefully capturing all the necessary information, and after execution you went to keep it, you want to hide it, you are still not, you are still carrying mere piece of paper. What you should do next, let me see if I'm ready to the next. After carrying out your due, part of carrying out due diligence, let me quickly state, you find out if the land does not fall within an acquisition. That is one of the things you need to establish. Does this land fall within a government acquisition area? And quickly, there are different kinds of acquisition. There's what we call committed acquisition. That is where government has already earmarked that portion for a specific named project. They have already stated there that we are going to build a university in this place. They have already said railway is going to pass this place. You know, they were given a specific, so that one is committed, is a no-go area, is a red flag alert. Do you understand me? So when you see that, it's an indication you should not buy such land. However, there's also what we call uncommitted acquisition. Although it's an anomaly, but in practice, you understand, a fresh law graduate may just tell you acquisition, run, oh, like this means that they used to do acquisition, run, oh. But due to practice, I was asking what kind of acquisition is in the area. If it is not a committed acquisition, and you find that where the government it's just a general acquisition, there is no specific project tied to it. Do you understand me? In such an instance, you can regularize or apply for government allocation on such land. It will be more expensive than, that is the documentation process and cost will be much more expensive than a land that is free from government acquisition. However, it doesn't mean you still you cannot get a good title over such land. You understand me? So it's it doesn't mean you should now run away. If the location is developing, projects are coming in that area and it has future prospects, you can still decide to go into the transaction, the sale, the purchase of the land, and undertake to do the necessary payments to perfect your title on the land. Do you get me? So that is another aspect. You also have lands that they say is under gazette or is under there's another term that they use, gazette. Yeah, that's what they say. It only means when you hear gazette that the land is gazette land, it means government has already acquired land in that area. Then subsequently, a portion of it was released back to the family. So such land or excision gazette, such land, that portion that falls under the excision will be described as free. When you go to the lands registry in the location where you are buying, then you can uh, ascertain what is on the land, and you can decide whether or not to confirm if the land is actually free, falls within the excision, then you can buy. Are you getting me? So we need to move very fast. Sorry, calls coming in. I need to cut. So, having done your due diligence and you are sure, let's just work with the fact that you've done your due diligence, the land is free or is under an uncommitted portion of land, or if you're buying from the family, what people call freehold, that is virgin land, that no registration, no acquisition, nothing has been done. You're buying straight from the family. The law recognizes the title, customary ownership of families that have been living on the land, farming on the land from time immemorial, even before the Land Use Act came into operation. So you can still buy land from those families. You get the family receipt, you get your deed of assignment, get your surveyor to survey the land, prepare a survey, register survey plan for you, and everything has been, done. So I'll quickly go to the third step, which is draft. After your investigation, draft contract of sale or deed of assignment. Now, there are different instances where you need a contract of sale or when you need a deed of assignment. A contract of sale is needed when perhaps you have seen the land, you have done your due diligence, everything is okay, and perhaps you've agreed that, oh, the land is for 1 million naira, but you don't have 1 million naira with you now. You have 500,000, but you are sure that in the next 2 to 3 months, you are going to get the balance. You can negotiate with the owner and say, please, let's enter into a contract of sale. Let's draft that and state in it that I'm going to pay 500,000 now, and I'm going to pay the balance of 500 in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, as the case may be. And that is when you don't prepare a deed of assignment when you have not completed the payment. You understand? The benefit of it is that having a contract of sale and not just doing it orally is that the seller is now bound by agreement to sell it to you as long as you are still within the time frame. Let's assume after signing the contract of sale with you, another person now can say, I like this land, I want to buy it, I will pay 5 million. And he has already negotiated 1 million with you. You will be tempted. I heard that it happened like that. Somebody sold land for, I think, 5 million. Immediately after he sold it, one of these telecommunications company came and they said they want to buy the land for maybe 100 million or so. Land that is sold for 50, the seller wanted to die. He said, I'm not selling again. And he has already signed deed of assignment. In this case, he has collected his 5 million. He has said deed of assignment, he has sold it. But he came back and said, I'm not selling again. Give me back I want to return back your 5 million. If the seller has a good lawyer, that's a failed case for the seller, because he has already a very huge sum of money. So he felt like, and it happened immediately after he sold it. You get me? So, but I also know that this is Nigeria. Some deals, some things. No, the person that came to buy that land had information from the company that they want to buy. So he quickly rushed there to buy the property so that he will now sell it at a higher price. It happens. So Just to explain to you that that's when you need, when you have not concluded, or at times you want to buy a property, you want to also investigate the title. At times the seller will say, I don't share my title documents with just anybody. If you are serious, I'm confident about my title, let's enter into a contract of sale. Pay a certain percentage, maybe 30 or 40%, then I will release the title document to you. You go and verify. Well, after you verify, come and pay the balance. If you don't pay the balance, you forfeit the deposit. You understand? Some sellers also do that because they don't like a situation where this one will come, I want to investigate, you will go with your you will not see him again. You know, a lot of people do just get, if you are serious about buying, let's enter into a contract of sale. So those are, but let's say you have now agreed, you have the the total sale price, then you draft what is called a deed of assignment. And a deed of assignment is not complete without a survey plan. Both also go, pari passu, they go hand in hand. So when somebody does a deed of assignment for you, if there's no reference to the particulars of survey, the survey plan number, the picking numbers, you understand? It's just like that. That is, you will still do another deed of assignment. Do you understand? You will still do another deed of assignment. At times, there are situations where you need to prepare a deed of assignment, but you will leave the spaces that will accommodate the particulars of the survey when the buyer has the money to do that. And when it does, it will be, those information will be imputed into the deed because you have already left the spaces where those information are going to be keyed in. That is also things that you gain from practice. Let's move quickly because our time is running. So now, after doing that, you ensure, that's number 3, step number 3. Number 4 is ensure proper execution of the documents. Proper execution. That is, the buyer signs, the seller signs, and let me also state here, when husband and wife is buying property, you don't say Mr. and Mrs. Ajanle Koko. You don't say Mr. I mean, there's nobody that is bearing Mr. and Mrs. Ajanle Koko. You say Mr. Jeremiah Ajanle Koko. Then you also say Mrs. Jessica Ajanle Koko. You don't lump the two together. Do you get me? Or else that document is null and void. That document is null and void. And so proper execution, when you have identified the parties, they sign in the presence of your lawyer, payment is done, and that is it. Most people end their journey in land documentation here. I can tell you 80%. It has deed of assignment. It has deed of assignment. You go and bring it. It is not registered. And I dare to tell you that the last step, I'm just telling you 1 to 5, and this is the last step. We have arrived at the last one, which is commence processing of perfection of your title. Commence the process of perfection of your title over that land. And why do you need to do that? Because it is a requirement of the law. We all know that ignorance of the law is not an excuse. It's not, you can't say, me, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer. Get a lawyer so that a lawyer can advise you appropriately. Like those who are here and those who are also connecting with us on live stream. You understand me? It's not an excuse. You do what? Commence the process of your perfection of your title. The law says, some people also make the mistake. Perhaps the land they are buying has a root title that is registered, either a C of O, global, which we call global C of O, or it has a registered deed, over a vast area of land where the land falls within. They say, the land has C of O now. Is it written? Is the CFO registered in the name of the person that is selling to you? Are you getting me? Yes, sir. Now, this Mr. Olaoton is a real estate developer. His company is Wittyview, Properties Limited. Wittyview Properties bought land, 10 acres, secured a CFO in the name of Wittyview. If you go to the land registry, you do your search, you will find the property registered under the name of Wittyview or Sefatop, as we are celebrating Sefatop here now. You get me? Now, a customer comes and buys one plot of land from Sefatop under the land covered by the CFO. The law says that transaction between Sefatop and that buyer must be registered. It must be with the consent of the governor of the state. You must perfect that title, that transfer between Sefatop and the buyer. Now, when this buyer that bought from Sefatop wants to sell to another third party, are you with me? Yes, sir. You cannot say that, maybe there's CFO, and this person too has done his own registration. I don't need to do. By the time Mr. A that bought from Sefatop is selling to Mr. C, Mr. C still needs to take that deed of assignment for perfection of title at the land registry. Every transfer of title must be registered. And the reason for this is very simple, so that it makes land acquisition seamless. If we do this in Nigeria, there will be less cases of fraud, real estate fraud. Somebody that does not own land will start selling land. But if all of us do land perfection of title, it's only a question of, you have a plot of land, can I see your documents? These are my documents. You just go to land, you confirm it's true. Mr. Tosin owns the land, and you are now dealing with the right person. But a situation where Mr. A has sold to Mr. B, Mr. B has sold to Mr. C, it has changed hands 6 times. They can't even find like 3 of them again. If those people have done what they need to do, you don't need to be looking for them. Are you getting me? Well, at times, along that chain, some of them have traveled to China, some are dead, you can't find them again. You just become perplexed. So even though as the end buyer that is buying now, you have genuine lawyer that you want to do perfection, it becomes a trouble. You can't do it because there's a break in chain. And see, if you want to do that, government will not send you all the money that those people were supposed to pay for each of those transactions. You will be the one to pay it. Wow. So instead of you to pay, for instance, 1 million naira to the government, you end up paying 10 million naira. Because everybody did not do what they were supposed to do. Excuse me. So, perfection of title is very paramount and it is important. Once you have followed these 5 simple steps, you can go to sleep. You can say, yes, I am building wealth with real estate. You can come and do seminar. You cannot talk like Pastor Ashimolo that so many years ago with a token money just bought some acres of land in Mowe. And he got a what? CFO. Why? He didn't just buy the land and go and sleep. Oh. He perfected his title. That was why several years down the line, he was able to make a fortune from that land. Many of us want to be like Ashimolo, but we don't want to do what Pastor Ashimolo did. Please follow those who have gone ahead of you. Follow the steps that they have taken so that you can also reap the same benefits that they have also reaped. I will stop at this point. These are just 5 basic steps. If you do this, you are all good. Thank you very much.